Good afternoon. We start the daily discussion. The first topic is on farmers' protest and MSP demand. A major demand of the farmers protesting in Delhi is for the enactment of a law to guarantee minimum support price for all crops. The farmers are demanding the minimum support price for all the crops should be implemented by the government because government declares MSP on 22 and fair and remunerative price on one commodity, totaling 23, including sugarcane. But the farmers are demanding that government should declare MSP for all the crops. Okay, as per the formula recommended by the okay, recommended by the MS Swaminathan Commission. This comes at a time when a committee appointed by the central government in July 2022 continue to deliberate on ways to make MSP more effective and transparent. So the central government has appointed a committee in 2022 so to make the minimum support price more effective and transparent. What is the minimum support price regime in India? The Food Grain Inquiry Committee established by the Nehru administration in 1957 after independence. So in 1957, Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, appointed a food grain inquiry committee. Okay, so was the first attempt to address the agricultural aging issue for the farmers. However, it turned out to be insignificant. Then in 1964, Lal Bahadur Shastri from the Food Grain Price Committee to push for a MSP regime. So next come. Okay, so Shastri, Lal Bahadur Shastri appointed the Food Grain Price Committee under L.K. Jha to push for a MSP regime. Despite the fact that the report was quickly accepted by the Shastri government, the first MSP announcement, minimum support price, was announced in 1967, although the committee gave the recommendation in 1964. Thus, the MSP regime came into existence as a policy decision, and the government set up the Agricultural Price Commission for fixing the MSP for crops. So, which committee? The government appointed the Agricultural Price Committee. Okay, so to decide about the MSP. Okay, that is known as the Agricultural Price Commission. Okay, so MSP is a form of market intervention, a policy decision not enforceable by law. So although it is a policy decision, but it is not enforceable by law. Okay. Okay, so by the government to ensure agricultural products. Okay, this is to ensure products against any sharp fall in the farm price during bumper production years. In case of even if there is a bumper production, that means in a particular year the production is very high, the price of the agricultural product will not fall below that decided minimum support price because this MSP is the amount guaranteed by the government even if there is a bumper crop harvest, but the price will not fall below that. This is a price assurance to the farmer. These are announced by the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, chaired by the Prime Minister of India. The recommendation of the Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices (CSCP) at the beginning of the sowing season, certain crop form the basis of this announcement. So the government declared this, but the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs declared this on the recommendation of the CSCP. The CSCP recommend and the Cabinet Committee on that Economic Affairs headed by the Prime Minister declared this. The CACP consider the following factors when recommending MSP. Definitely, when the CACP recommend, it must be taking some factor into consideration. So, the factors taken into consideration by the CACP. Okay, so a commodities demand and supply. The most important thing is the a particular commodities demand and supply. It cost of production, how much it takes to produce that item, what is the input and the other cost of production. Market price trend, both domestic and international. Intercrop price parity. So similar crop and their price parity. The term of the trade between agriculture and non-agriculture. Ratio farm input and the farm output prices. All these factors are taken into consideration. And next is a minimum 50% of the margin over cost of production. 50% margin. So suppose the production cost is 100, another 100 will be the margin for the farmers. The likely implication of an MSP on consumer of that product. So then another factor that is taken into consideration is the likely impact of that price on the consumer, because ultimately the consumer will purchase it, so its likely impact on the consumer is a major consideration before deciding on the MSP. MSP are a guarantee price for farmers produce from the governments to prevent the farmer from distress sale and to produce food grains for public distribution. Fine. If the market price of a commodity fall below the specific minimum price due to bumper production and market glut, means market slowdown, the government agency will buy the entire quantity supplied by farmers and announce minimum support price. That means the minimum support price give an assurance to the farmer that in case, even in case of a bumper harvest, the price of the product will not fall below this. That means the farmers are assured of a minimum price even if there is a bumper harvest. Crop covered, government announces MSP for 22 mandated crops and the fair and remunerative price for sugarcane, totaling 23. So crop covers on MSP includes 7 types of cereals: paddy, wheat, maize, bajra, jowar, ragi and the barley. 5 types of pulses: चना, अरहर और तूर, उड़द, मूंग and the मसूर. 7 oil seeds: rapeseed, mustard, groundnut, soybean, sunflower, sesame, safflower, flour and Niger seed. 4 commercial crop: cotton, sugarcane, copra and raw jute. These are the other crops or commercial crop which are also the MSP for them are also declared by the government as part of this process. Hmm. जल्दी फिर क्या गई ठीक है. Okay, so cotton, sugarcane, copra and raw jute. 2022 committee background. This panel, so 22 after the farmers protest, so central government is appointed a committee. Okay, so this is the committee appointed by the central government after the farmers protest. Okay. So this panel is constituted 7 months after the farmers have gathered at the Delhi's border, called off their year-long protest. But the Prime Minister announced the repeal of the farm law. So government has implemented three farm law passing in the parliament that led to the massive farmer protest. Okay. So after year-long protest, the farmers withdraw it after the government withdraw the three farm law passed by the parliament and implemented in the country. So that led the government to withdraw it, and after that withdrawal, the farmers also withdraw their protest. Fine. Okay. The committee subject matter has 3 points: MSP, national farming, and crop diversification. However, the term of reference will include a legal guarantee of the MSP. Okay. Although MSP is there, but the legal guarantee of MSP was not a term of reference of the committee. The committee was notified by the Indian Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare in July 2022. The committee, which has 26 members, headed by Sanjay Agarwal, a former agriculture secretary. Term of reference of the committee: to promote zero budget natural farming. Zero budget natural farming provides farmer towards sustainable farming practices, which helps to retain soil fertility, ensure chemical free agriculture, and ensure low production cost, thereby increasing farmers' income. Okay, zero budget natural farming will definitely lead to low cost production, and this low cost production will lead to increasing farmers income. Okay, because so this zero budget natural farming is a practice where the farmers will be using their own agricultural residues as these nutrients for their plants or agriculture, not to use any chemical fertilizer or pesticides. Fine. To provide suggestions on 5 points regarding natural farming includes suggestion for programs and schemes for value chain development, protocol validation and research for future needs, support for area expansion under Indian natural farming system, a public publicity and through involvement and contribution of farmer organizations to change crop patterns, keeping in mind the changing needs of the country. To recommend measures to strengthen the agricultural marketing system in response to the country's changing needs. This is to ensure higher value to farmer through remunerative price for their produce by capitalizing on domestic and export opportunities. Okay. Okay. Opportunities to provide suggestions on 4 points related to crop diversification, including mapping of existing cropping pattern of ecological zone of producer and consumer states, strategy for diversification policy to change the cropping pattern according to the changing needs of the country, arrangement for agricultural diversification and system to ensure remunerative price for the sale of new crop, review and suggestions on micro irrigation schemes to make the minimum support price more effective and transparent. Okay, it will also make recommendation to give CSCP more autonomy as well as measures to make it more scientific. Okay, to make it more scientific. PM Modi's then the next topic is about the India UAE relation, because recently Modi visited UAE and he inaugurated the largest, one of the largest Hindu temple in UAE. PM Modi is an official visit to Saudi Arab Emirates, United Arab Emirates, which is the seventh visit of UAE since 2015 and the third in the last 8 months. So this is the third visit in the last 8 months. India EU bilateral relationship. Okay, so India and EU established diplomatic relations in 1972. Since then, their relationship has grown manifold. In January 2017, India and UAE signed a comprehensive strategic partnership agreement. The strong bilateral relation have the shift impetus from time to time with the exchange of high-level visit from both the sides. So the relationship in the two sides get are boosted due to the bilateral high-level visit from time to time between the two sides. In February 2019, United Arab Emirates invited India as the guest of honor to address the inaugural plenary of the 46th session of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. So, OIC is the Association of the Islamic Countries, and United Arab Emirates UAE invited Prime Minister Modi to address the inaugural plenary of the 46th session of the Organization of Islamic Conference. Prime Minister Modi paid his third visit to UAE in August 2019. He was awarded the highest civilian award of UAE called the Order of the Jayed. So, Order of the Jayed is the highest civilian award given by UAE, and Prime Minister Modi was conferred this honor. Crown Prince of UAE visited India for the second time in January 2017, the chief guest at the India's Republic Day celebration in 2017. The foundation stone ceremony for the first traditional Hindu temple in Abu Dhabi was held in 2019, attended by Prime Minister Modi. In February 2022, Modi and Crown Prince Abu Dhabi attended Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan held a virtual summit. Both the leaders issued a joint vision of statement advancing the India and UAE comprehensive strategic partnership, new frontiers and new milestones. That is the tagline. UAE was the guest country at G20 being held under the Indian presidency. Okay, because India held the G20 summit in 2023 and UAE was the guest country. Okay, trade relation India UAE trade rose to USD 85 billion in 2022-23, making the UAE India's third largest trading partner for 2022-23 and India's second largest export destination in the period. India is UAE's second largest trading partner. Both the countries are expecting to achieve the target of $100 billion in trade before G20 meeting in Delhi in September 2023. Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement between India and UAE. India and UAE CEPA, a Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, was signed on 18 February 2022 in New Delhi during the India-EU Virtual Summit. In March 2022, India announced the unveiling of the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement with the United Arab Emirates. Okay, so this is Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement has been signed and is operational between India and the United Arab Emirates. Okay. It covers almost all the tariff lines built in by India, 11,908 tariff lines, and the UAE is 7,581 items. That means this tariff line implies the number of items from respective sites. That means 11,908 items from India and 7,581 items from the UAE. Since the signing of the SEPA, Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, EAE has emerged as the fourth largest investor in India during 22-23. It was seventh largest investor in 21-22. The last fiscal, FDI from UAE to India jumped over 3-4 to 3.35 billion from 1.3 billion in 21-22. NI remittance from UAE to India, the annual remittance made by the large Indian community in UAE estimated to be around 3.3 million, accounts around 17.56 billion for the year 2018, and it is on an increasing trend since then. Energy cooperation in 2017, the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company and the Indian Strategic Petroleum Reserve signed an MOU to establish a strategic crude oil reserve in the city of Mangalore in Karnataka. The Abu Dhabi National Oil Company is also involved in exploring the possibility of storing its crude oil at this reserve. Okay, so Indian Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Okay, underground oil store facility at Padur in Karnataka. A consortium led by the ONGC, including Indian Oil and the Bharat Petro Resources, have been awarded 10% stake in the lower Jakkum concessions in Abu Dhabi. So, PM Modi's visit to the United Arab Emirates. During this visit, Prime Minister Modi met UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan in Abu Dhabi because after his father's death, the Crown Prince became the new president of UAE. During the meeting, India and UAE signed 8 pacts to boost cooperation in key areas, including bilateral investment treaty. Bilateral investment treaty was signed by the two sides. The agreement will be a key enabler to further promoting investment in both the countries. Energy cooperation, a memorandum of understanding has also been signed on cooperation in the field of electrical interconnection and trade. This opened new areas of collaboration in the field of energy, including energy security and energy trade. Fostering regional connectivity for the IMEC, first announced in the G20 Summit 2023, India and UAE have formed an intergovernmental framework agreement. Okay, this could build a previous understanding and cooperation between the two sides. Okay, so it will create framework for wide-ranging cooperation, including investing cooperation in the digital infrastructure sector. It will also facilitate sharing of technical knowledge, skill, and expertise. Agreement on interlinking of the instant payment platform ePay India and the AANI UAE. This will facilitate seamless cross-border transactions between the two countries. This follow the MOU on interlinking payment and messaging system signed in July 2023 during Honorable Prime Minister's visit to Abu Dhabi. Agreement on interlinking domestic debit credit card RuPay with the card of the UAE. This will enhance the universal acceptance of RuPay across UAE. Cooperation protocol between the national archives of the two countries. This protocol will self extension. Okay, this should foster engagement in the two countries aimed at supporting of the maritime heritage complex at the Lathol in Gujarat or Lothal from the Indus Valley civilization. Other highlights of the visit: introduction of the Indian community event Alan Modi in UAE. Prime Minister Modi addressed the Indian community in UAE at the Alan Modi, an event organized in his honor by the Indian community in UAE. At temple inauguration on 14th February, Modi inaugurated the uh, uh, Bochaswa Sri Akhya Purushottam Swaminarayan Santham BAPS Mandir. This is the first Hindu stone temple in Abu Dhabi. BAPS denomination of the Swaminarayan Sampradaya, a Vaishnava sect of Hinduism, the Swaminarayan temple. Picture of the temple. The Abu Dhabi temple is a traditional stone Hindu temple in seven shikaras Seven Sikara spires are comprehensive of seven emirates of the UAE. Built in the traditional Nagara style, the temple front panel depicts universal values, stories of harmony from different cultures, Hindu spiritual leaders, and the avatars. The height of the temple is 108 feet, length 262 feet, and width 180 feet, while the external facade uses pink sandstone from Rajasthan. The interior uses Italian marbles. Apart from the 15 value tales from Indian civilization, story from the Maya civilization, the Aztec civilization, Egyptian civilization, Arabic civilization, European civilization, Chinese civilization, and the African civilization have been depicted in the temple. Then the next is that the Dokras Silpakala and Chhattisgarh's Ochre studio is helping to preserve the Indian 4,000 year old craft called the Dokra Silpakala. The word Dokra is believed to be derived from the Dokra Dhamar tribes, who is the traditional metal smith of the central India. The origin of the Dokra Silpakala can be traced back to the tribal communities residing in the regions of Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, and Odisha, where it evolved as an integral part of their cultural and religious practices. Technique and processes. What set Dokra Silpakala apart is its remarkable technique of metal casting, which involves using the lost wax casting method, also known as the Sire reduce, Sire reduce. Artistry and the design. Its design has rustic charm and the organic nature of the its design. Artisans draw inspiration from the nature, mythology, and everyday life, incorporating motifs such as the animals, birds, deities. Okay. Okay. So, from miniature figurine and jewelry to large than life sculptures and functional objectives, the Dokra Silpakala encompasses a wide range of artistic expressions. The rapid pace of urbanization, coupled with the rise of mechanized production techniques, threaten the livelihoods of traditional artisans and endanger their ancient craft. But in the lost wax method, the process begins with the creation of a clay core which serves as the base for the final metal sculpture. Artisan then coat this clay core with a layer of bee wax, meticulously sculpturing the intricate design and pattern by hand. Once the wax model is complete, it is covered with layers of clay, forming a mural around the wax pattern. The entire structure is then heated, allowing the wax to melt and drain out, leaving behind a cavity in the shape of the original sculpture. Molten metal, typically a combination of brass and bronze, is poured into the cavity, filling the space left by the melting wax. After cooling and solidifying, the clay mold is broken away, revealing the final metal casting. Then the frozen smoke, researchers have developed a sensor made from frozen smoke that uses artificial intelligence technique to detect formaldehyde in real times at concentration as low as 8 parts per billion, far beyond the sensitivity of most indoor air quality sensors. The frozen smoke, technically known as the aerogel, is an extraordinary material. It was originally developed in the 1930s. The name aerogel comes from the combination of the Greek word aero, meaning air, and gel, since aerogel are derived from gel. It is held as a miracle material. Properties: aerogel can claim a low density, high thermal resistivity, and a highly porous structure. The texture of aerogel is similar to a fine, dry sponge but feel much lighter. In fact, aerogel holds the record as the lightest solid in the world. When pressed softly, aerogel will return to its original form, but when pressed harder, a dimple forms, put aerosol under much pressure, however, and it will shatter like glass into many tiny pieces. Okay. So when pressed softly, aerosol will return to its original form, but when pressed harder, a dimple forms. Put aerosol under too much pressure. However, that will shatter like glass into many tiny pieces. They are composed mostly of air and can be used to remove contaminants. What is the formaldehyde? It is a common volatile organic compound and is emitted by the household items including pressed food products, so the MDF, wallpapers and paint and some synthetic fibers. For the most part, the level of formaldehyde emitted by these items are low, but leaves can build up over time. Formaldehyde can be used to serious health problems with prolonged. Yes, hello. Classes. With prolonged exposure even at low concentration. Then the halogen, for the first time, chemists have synthesized an interhalogen compound exhibiting unique central fluorine atom coordinated by 4 BRF5 groups. So for the first time, chemists have synthesized the interhalogen compound exhibiting unique central fluorine atom coordinated by 4 BRF5 group. So halogen are any other six non-metallic elements that constitute group 17 or group 7A of the periodic table. The halogen elements are fluorine, chloride, bromine, iodine, astatine, and the tensine. This word halogen means salt producing because halogens react with the metal to produce many important salt, of which sodium chloride, table salt, or the halite is best known. Halogens are so reactive that they do not occur as free element in nature. They are the most reactive non-metals. The halogen atoms carry seven valence electrons in their outermost electron shell. This accounts for their higher reactivity and tendency to gain one electron and form ionic bonds or share electrons with other elements to form covalent bonds. Among all the halogens, chlorine is the most reactive and iodine is the least reactive of all. It combined from fluorine is the most abundant of the halogens at crust. Halogen are the only group on the periodic table that has elements in the sodium liquid and gas phase at room temperature. at normal temperature and pressure. Chlorine and fluorine are gases. Bromine is a liquid, and iodine and acetylene are solids. They are powerful oxidizing agents. They have very high electronegativities. Halogen have a tendency to form hydrogen halides, which are potent acids when they combine with the hydrogen. It's a Kalsa Banduri project. The National Board of Wildlife recently deferred the decisions on diverting forest land from the Kali and the Sahyadri Tiger Reserve for the construction of a part of the Karnataka government's Kalsa Banduri project. The project involves the construction of dam and a canal system to divert water from the Mahadevi River located in Goa to the Malaprabha River, a tributary of the Kishan River, basin in Karnataka. The main goal of the project is to meet the drinking water needs of the district of the Belgavi, Dharwad, uh, Bagalkot, and the Badgai in Karnataka. So the project was first proposed in the early 1980s. It has remained on paper owing to a dispute between the Karnataka, Goa, and the Maharashtra government. As per plan, barrages are to build against the Kalsa and Banduri streams, tributary of the Mahadevi River, and water diverted towards Karnataka's Ghats districts. Origin it rises in the Western Ghats from the Bhimghat Wildlife Sanctuary in the Karnapur Taluk of the Karnataka's Belgavi district. The river travels 35 kilometers in Karnataka, 82 kilometers in Goa before joining the Arabian Sea at Panji in North Goa. Also called Mandoi in Goa, Mahadei is an unfed river that is shared between Karnataka and Goa for their water needs. Thus, Salim Ali Bird Sanctuary is located on the island of the Charoro in the Mandovi River. Major tributary the Kalas Nala, the Banduri Nala, the Sural Nala, the Haltar Nala, the Koti Nala, Mahadei Nala, Panchasri Nala, Bali Nala, and the Andhra Nala are its tributaries. Okay. Next topic is for the preliminary funds of fund scheme. According to the crucial assessment survey, the Prabha, the funds of fund for startup scheme, has enabled investment to the turn of around 4x of the amount done with 17,534 crore invested in 1938 startups. Okay, so Government of India has established the fund of funds for startups to encourage startup ecosystem in the country. The Fund of Fund for Startup scheme was approved and established in 2016 with a corpus of rupees 10,000 crore. Funding to startup under this Fund of Fund for Startup, the scheme does not directly invest in startups. Instead, provides capital to SEBI registered the AIF. Okay, so known as Dr. Funds, who in turn invest money in growing Indian startups through the equity and equity-linked instruments. Small Industry Development Bank of India (SIDBI) has been given the mandate of opening their funds through selection of suitable daughter funds and overseeing the disbursal of the committed capital. The AIF supported under the Fund of Fund for Startup are required to invest at least two times the amount committed under the Fund of Fund Startup in the startups. Key facts of the Small Industrial Development of India, established under the Act of Parliament in 1990. It is a principal financial institution engaged in the promotion, financing, and development of the micro, small, and medium enterprises sector, and the coordination of the funds functions of the various institutions engaged in their similar activity. So, objective to offer loan, both direct and indirect, to the MSME to help in addressing the development and financial gap in the ecosystem of MSME. It helps MSMEs acquiring the funds they require to grow the market, develop and commercialize their technology and innovative products. It was made responsible for administering the Small Industries Development Fund and the National Equity Fund. Then coming to the question, discuss the role of Rajya Sabha in strengthening the fundamentals of our parliamentary system. Because Indian Parliament consists of the Lok Sabha, the lower house, the Rajya Sabha, the upper house, and the Parliament, the President of India. So Rajya Sabha is the upper house of Indian Parliament, to which the members are elected by the State Assembly. Rajya Sabha, constitutionally the Council of State, is the upper house of the bicameral Parliament of India. The genesis of Rajya Sabha can be traced to the Montagu-Chelmsford Report of 1819, 1918, and consequently the Government of India Act 1919, which provided for a second federal chamber of the Parliament. Asserting the federal nature of the Indian polity, Rajya Sabha ensures healthy bicameralism not only as a house of second thought but also as a guardian of the states' right, as a house of the correction, because here the states are represented, not the individual. Because Member to the Rajya Sabha are appointed or are elected by the state assemblies. Okay, so the Rajya Sabha protect the interest of the states more than the interest so not directly the interest of the people. Okay, which is done by the Lok Sabha in India. Asserting the federal Indian polity, Rajya Sabha ensures healthy bicameralism not only as a house of second thought but also a guardian of the state's rights, the house of correction. Significance of Rajya Sabha, permanent body. Rajya Sabha is a permanent body. Okay. Okay, this ensures continuity and also bring about the fusion of the new and old of the house because after the original provision, the members of Rajya Sabha are elected for a 6 year term, but one third member retires every second year. That means so the house continues like the Lok Sabha, it is never completely dissolved. One third member retired every second year, so the continuity of the house is maintained. This type of arrangement is designed to secure the representation of the past as well as current opinion and help in maintaining continuity in the public policy. Review and reservation. The Rajya Sabha helps in a deeper review of the law as it contemplates the first chamber in securing greater executive accountability. It check hasty, defective, and inconsiderate legislation made by the Lok Sabha by making provisions of the revision and third. It also provides a platform to the small and regional parties to present their views. House check and balance. Since the Lok Sabha decisions may go in favor of the populist sentiment because in Lok Sabha normally the one particular political party or its coalition enjoy majority and forces the member to go contrary to the best judgment. Rajya Sabha keep a check and balance on this because Rajya Sabha acts as a house which acts as a check and balance. Unlike the House of Lords in Britain, the Rajya Sabha member do not hold the detailed membership rights. In the originally, as it has been influenced by the British system, House of Lords, here it is not that members are not hereditary, but they are elected. But this election is by the member of the state assemblies. Voice of the states, the process of indirect elections also makes it way to the Indian parliamentary system. The members of the Rajya Sabha are elected by the members of the state legislative assembly based on the proportional representation by means of single transferable vote. They are elected by this PR system. It acts as a conduit between the states, people, and the parliament, furthering the principle of decentralization by lending an independent voice to the states. The fourth schedule of the constitution deals with the allocation of seats in the Rajya Sabha to the states and Union territory. That means which states will get how many seats in Rajya Sabha is dealt by the fourth schedule of the Indian Constitution. Promote participatory democracy. 12 members are nominated by the Rajya Sabha to the Rajya Sabha, the President of India, for 6 year term and their contribution towards art, literature, science, and social services. The President of India nominates 12 members to Lok Sabha from persons having expertise and experience in art, science, literature, and social services. This feature of the Rajya Sabha makes it even more democratic and participatory as prominent people making significant contribution to society make their way to the highest echelons of Indian politics. Challenges faced by the Rajya Sabha, limited power related to money bills. A money bill can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha and not in the Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha cannot amend or reject a money bill. So here comes the limitation of the Rajya Sabha. That is, so no money bill can be introduced in the Rajya Sabha. Only Lok Sabha has the power for introduction of the money bill. So Rajya Sabha, so money bill cannot be introduced in the Rajya Sabha. That is the biggest limitation on the power of the Rajya Sabha because money bill cannot be introduced in the Rajya Sabha. They can only be introduced in the Lok Sabha. Okay, and not in the Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha cannot amend or reject a money bill. It is not only an introduction, but on its amendment and rejection, Rajya Sabha has very less power. It should return the bill to the Lok Sabha within 14 days, either with recommendation or without recommendation. So maximum is 14 days. So that is given to Rajya Sabha, either return the bill with recommendation or without recommendation. Within 14 days, it has returned. In case it is not returning within 14 days, it will presume to be passed by the Rajya Sabha. The Lok Sabha can either accept or reject all or any of the recommendation of the Rajya Sabha. In the both the cases, the money bill is deemed to have been passed by both the houses. That means in case of money bill, Rajya Sabha has absolutely no power. Okay. So sorry, Rajya Sabha, the most of the powers remain with the Lok Sabha of India. Bypassing Rajya Sabha. So in some cases, ordinary bill are being presented in the form of money bill, circumventing the Rajya Sabha and giving rise to question about the very efficacy of the upper house of the parliament. You can take the example, the Aadhaar bill. It was introduced a money bill to reduce the power of the Rajya Sabha in the recent past by the central government. Issue with the provision of joint sitting, the president can summon both the houses to meet in the joint sitting in case of deadlock. In such a case, the sitting is governed by the rules of procedure of Lok Sabha and not the Rajya Sabha. In case of joint sitting, it is presided by the Speaker of Lok Sabha and the rules are conducted by the provisions of the Lok Sabha and not the Rajya Sabha. Since the Lok Sabha has a large membership in a joint sitting, generally the will of the Lok Sabha prevails over the Rajya Sabha. Other limitations, no confidence motion cannot be introduced in the Rajya Sabha, but it can only be introduced in the Lok Sabha. In addition, it exercises a limited role in the functioning of the Public Accounts Committee and is no part in the Estimate Committee. No member of Rajya Sabha is a member of the Estimate Committee. Rajya Sabha has been a memorable journey through lively debates, informed discussions, and its ability to handle complex issues in the interest of the nation. Fine. Rajya Sabha, since its creation, has played a commendable role. Okay. Indeed, it has also been frictions and a rise in the disruption, which is certainly a master of concern for all stakeholders. But even though the ups and downs of Indian politics, Rajya Sabha has remained a vanguard for political and social values, a melting pot of culture and diversity, and overall a relentless flag bearer of sovereignty, secularism, socialist, secular, democratic republic, that is popularly called as India. So this is very clearly mentioned and embodied in the Rajya Sabha. It is not only the second chamber, but also or secondary chamber, but also very important player in the Indian parliamentary system. Okay. Okay. So then coming to the MCQs, consider the following statement reference to the electoral bond scheme. It allowed corporation and individual to anonymously donate money to political parties. Okay, right? Okay. Electoral bond interest fee bearer instruments like promissory note with 100% tax exemption. They are both 1 and 2 are correct, which Supreme Court has recently banned it. The TK Viswanathan recently submitted his report. It's deal with that mediation, the financial concept. The term digital twin has been in use. It is as to which of the following. It is a planning and design of infrastructure called the digital twin. Consider the following statement reference to the Indian Computer Emergency Response Team (CERTIN). It is an executive body. No, it is a technical body. It acts as a national agency for cyber security. So two is correct, one is incorrect. Regarding the Commission on Agricultural Cost and Prices, consider the following statement. Minimum support price is based on the recommendation of the CSCP, that is uh, okay. So correct. It is an attached office of the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, right? The CP recommends MSP for all the crops. No, only on 23 plus 1, 22 plus 1, 23 crops. So 1 and 2 means only 2 are correct, 3 is incorrect. Regarding the India-EU relation, consider the following statement. The two countries signed agreement on interlinking of digital payment platform UPI and the UAE, NI of UAE, that is right. Bharat Mart aims to integrate retail warehousing and logistics service at the Jebel Ali Free Trade Zone in Dubai, potentially boosting export from India's micro, small, and medium sectors. Both 1 and 2 are correct. Consider the following statement. The marine heat wave is an extreme event when the sea region surface temperature rises 3 to 4 degrees above the average of the last 5 days. The extreme event attribution technique assess how much human-induced climate change affects specific extreme weather events. So both here. So coming to question number 7, which of these are incorrect? Both are correct. So none is incorrect. Neither one or not two is incorrect because both are correct. Consider the following statement. A recession entails two consecutive quarters of GDP decline. So, not two quarters. A technical recession occurs when a sustained decline in economic activity persists. So, both are incorrect. Which refers to INS INSAT 3DS, consider the following statement. It is a collaborative effort between the NASA, the ISRO, to augment the meteorological services. That is okay, incorrect. Launch vehicle used for the INSAT 3DS is the GSLV, which GSLV F-13, which aims to deploy the INSAT 3DS into the continuous transfer orbit. Here, 2 is correct. Consider the following statement. The Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve is located at the tri-junction of Eastern and the Western Ghats in the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve in Karnataka. So, it is incorrect. The Adik Kasturibaran Bhuma Devi temple located inside the STR, right? The Upilia Nikar community visit the Adi Karunapuram Boma temple in the Masimagam festival. Here both 2 and 3 are correct, but 1 is incorrect. Thank you for watching. Keep watching regular to update yourself.